we're sitting having a coffee, just people watching, and how people always chase happiness was like the topic. We're chasing, what do we want out of life? What do we want to do? And that people are stuck with this thought that society tells you that chasing happiness is how you get it. But really that's a trap, because the more you chase it, the less of it you'll have. There is no such thing really as happiness. The best you could really do, or I should say the thing that you should be chasing is purpose, which then will give you fulfillment and then derives happiness from the fulfillment. But people are working the problem essentially in reverse, where you're chasing the end goal of what purpose would give you. So, and I think that's a major trap in the world today, especially just how life is tailored. Because, excuse me, another part to that we were talking about was the waiting trap itself. Always waiting for something. I'll wait to start the diet Monday. I'll wait to start that job, in 2 months. I'll wait to move 6 months or at the end of the year. I'll wait, always waiting. I'll wait to get the body next year. I have too much on my plate right now. And as you wait, you put a form of anxiety on yourself and depression, because you feel like you're boxed in, stuck, not doing anything. And at the same time, you're anxious because you want the thing to happen already that you're waiting on. And no matter what happens in life, you're going to be waiting. It's a mentality that you have to destroy, because you'll wait to start the job, you start the job, and then something else happens in the job, or you'll be waiting for a promotion, or you finally get the house that you've been waiting to buy. And now that you're in the house, you have to do a remodeling that you're waiting for 6 months later. And then after that, you got another year later, you'll do an addition to the house here, or you'll get the garden started next year. You're just waiting for something to happen to get that start waiting. This is a mental problem, because you're going to go to your grave waiting for something to happen, waiting for the thing that you're chasing, and as well as the happiness that you're running after too. We're all waiting for something and also wanting to chase happiness, but none of us are being told, or at least the conversation in your mind isn't reframed to, what is my purpose? What wakes me up? What gives me the fire in the morning to get the day started? Is there a path that you're on that's fulfilling that purpose you have in life? Like, are you genuinely excited when you wake up in the morning? The vast majority of the answers for 99% of us, no. Actually, 99% of us don't have a purpose. We have jobs that help us survive every day because they pay the bills, but you wouldn't describe your job as your purpose, right? You go to the gym to keep a decent shape body, because why? Because you want people to look at you, not that your purpose is bodybuilding. We're all vain in some sense. We go work out, go climbing rocks, go biking because we want to be in decent shape and not look like complete jokes for our age, right? So during work, in what time during these 24 hours that we have, do you find out what your purpose is, your calling, whatever the fuck name they give it, really your passion? Where do you discover this? And that's kind of the thing that I've been wrestling with on how to make that, digestible for the average man. Because you can't just tell a dude, just believe, bro, just sit there and write some shit in a notebook. And maybe when you go on a couple walks, it'll hit you like lightning and blah, blah. And that shit sounds like completely fucking stupid to the guy that, has got to go put in a 12-hour shift and figure out how to make ends meet for the end of the month. Bills are coming in and the fucking money's looking tight. And if your boss cuts just one fucking day out of your week, you're going to come up short. Where does that guy get the time to find what the fuck purpose is for him, to then get some happiness at the end of that equation I mentioned earlier? It's very interesting, dude. Where do you get your purpose to get the fulfillment that then gives you the happiness? I don't know a formula yet that's just widely applicable to everyone, because everybody's circumstances is so fucked, but there has to be a pipeline that no matter what your situation is in life, no matter how hard shit is in the moment, that you can make active steps and progress, headway towards purpose. That's what I've been wrestling with all day today. It's kind of just been on my mind. I've just been sitting on the couch thinking, even before the call, when I sat with her, I had coffee earlier today, probably 6 hours ago, we were hanging out. It was a beautiful, bright sunny day until some angry clouds rolled over and started raining. But it's kind of a genuine question. It's like a profound one, actually. It's one of the most profound things you can ask yourself as a man. It's like, what is my purpose? We've been shortchanged in the modern world in a few ways, because our wives used to be our purpose along with our kids, right? The whole family package no longer exists. You look back at your grandpa or great grandpa, they had kids at 18, 19 years old. Your purpose was your family as a man. Your purpose was providing. That gave you a sense of duty and responsibility. What do you do when you're 30 something years old, late 20s, whatever it is, age that you are in the modern world, and you're kind of floating around in the ether, dude. You have nothing to be responsible for. So what do you do? How do you get the passion out of life? We don't wake up and see our kids like, daddy, daddy, with a big smile on their face. And it's like, fuck, dude, there's everything. There's my everything right there for what I do. We don't have that. You can pick up the video games, grab a console, whatever it is that you prefer, dude, pick up the controller, game with the boys for like fucking 12 hours straight. There's no real consequences for that. You could dick off on the couch, watch Netflix all day, binge, order a pizza, delivered to your door. You lost an entire day, dick around, didn't do anything. Like where your soul is being depleted. You know what I mean? Go watch some porn. You got the itch to talk to a girl? Nah, I'll watch porn and do all this other stuff. And it's like a boom, ambition killed. You watch 10 different chicks get railed. Now you're fucking fire and your drive is gone. And then I'll order a pizza and do a bunch of nothing. Whatever it is, whatever guys are, watch anime. I don't give a fuck. Whatever it is that guys are doing in the modern world to cope with the fact that we're all lost on purpose. What is it to live a purposeful life? And how do you find that in the issues that we're dealing with in the modern world? I don't know. I don't have a clear-cut answer. I know general things that you can do that may one day give you that answer. Yes, going on walks does help clear your mind and maybe get you that idea. Yes, writing shit down helps organize your thoughts more, and eventually, you can build a framework for what you should be doing and what direction you should be going. Yes, working out is good for your health, clears your mind. Yeah, like all those things help, but there's a mental component to this that's missing that I don't think I've touched on, or most guys touched on. Like, what mental framing do you need to have fundamentally to find, quote, purpose? Because you could do all the physical things that then, by proxy, open the mind up. But if the mind is closed to anything new in general, even the physical things won't open that door because it's locked. It's very interesting. Yeah, that's my little rant in the very beginning. Thoughts on that, guys?
I've been trying to figure out that pipeline for a long time.
Yeah, it's not easy to figure out your purpose because life is hard, and you have to keep doing everything, right? You have to keep hustling, right? We have hustle culture in the West.
Yeah.
And if you stop hustling to meditate for too long, you're going to end up homeless, especially if you have, if you're divorced with kids, you got to keep that up or you're just going to end up homeless. So the constant pressures of life are just a huge distraction.
Yeah.
And sometimes purpose is a luxury. Sometimes you just have to grind. I think that's the big challenge for people today because life is hard. You want to have a break. You want to find some happiness. But
how do you do that?
But you're right.
It's a luxury. You're right, though. That's a huge part of it. It is a luxury to find your purpose today in a world that's designed to trap you in I wouldn't even call it a grind, but a way of surviving in modernity. Like go to work 9 to 5, pay your bills, come back, rinse, repeat. And that sucks up a lot of your time and your effort, your energy, your creativity. It really drains the soul crushing corporate job, right? That's why they call it the rat race, because it takes your soul away. That's really what it does. It's designed to drain you of all the things that would maybe help you find your purpose. Yeah, it's just different, dude. It's so weird because we look back on our ancestors and they would wake up and, it'd be very simple. Wake up, get the pigs ready, the goats ready, the cows, whatever, tend to the farm animals, go out in the backyard, dig up some dirt, plant some shit, go to the other plot of land they had, go pick some stuff, harvest some things. You got to you had a process that you were following to feed your family. You got to see things grow that you planted. You really could sit down there for a second and be like, holy shit, dude, this was all dirt and now it's all thriving. You were given purpose to mend the soil, to grow the crops, all given by God to you and blessed, your family. Now it's like we wake up in a 4-squared fucking building in a high rise somewhere in the city. You don't even know your neighbor. There is no greenery, no land, no lush pasture for you to go walking around, no animals. You're completely disconnected. You got this fucking thing. This fucking thing is just next to you 24/7, dude, with the most craziest shit that's being drilled in your brain. Your cell phone. It's a double-edged sword. Yes, it gave you access to more things than your great-grandparents could ever dream of having, but it also, can burn you in multiple ways when used incorrectly, which unfortunately is like most people are using it incorrectly. How many hours do teens spend on, or even fucking adults spend on social media, on like reels, on shorts, on videos that are useless, on, shit like that doesn't serve you in any way, but makes you depressed, makes you do the comparison thing with other adults. Well, he's there at 40. I should be there by 35. Damn, that kid's 22. He bought a Lamborghini. What the fuck am I doing in my life? Blah, 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 blah. Bro, it never stops. It never stops. That's because it's designed to do that. Because when you're in that vulnerable state emotionally, they can control you to buy, how to spend your money, right? Who to vote for, everything, all that they want, they extract from you when you're in that weakened mental state. I think that's one reason why people are like pulling away from, let's just say, the culture, society, and going more into smaller towns and doing the homesteading shit. And I just fucked off from society, bought a plot of land, built something here, check it out. Kind of shit that you're seeing that's very often being talked about now in mainstream. But yeah, dude, apart from that, you're the rat in the race who doesn't have the luxury of finding your purpose. That's a huge problem. And that's one a lot of guys haven't figured out yet. I haven't even figured that out. I've had multiple and this thing it never ends because you have multiple phases in life. Dude, when I was in college, all I wanted was to get a great body and get women and like finally not be nervous talking to chicks. So that was like my purpose. My purpose was just to get fit, talk to as many girls as I could, go to the clubs, party with my boys, all this shit, and like be an extrovert because I was always an introvert hermit. Ta-da, I did that. Holy fuck, dude, got different girls every day of the week now. We're going to clubs. It's super easy to talk to people. I could be the life of the party, gift a gab. Life is great. Wow, we transformed ourselves. And then it's like, okay, I got the body I wanted. Got all the girls I wanted. What's next? Build the next mountain. Now what's my purpose now? Because this is boring. I've already reached this fucking summit. Okay, well, I want to start a business. I want money in my pocket now. I don't want to just be the broke dude talking to chicks and using my looks. I need to get some real cash, real money, real lifestyle, like a man, not some boy chasing tail. Okay, fine. Okay, what does that mean? Well, I want to own my own business. So now the excitement, the fire in me, the passion was own my own business. So, a few months later, maybe a year later, I have that opportunity. I go back to Atlanta. I start a business. I work my ass off. I don't even think about girls, don't do anything, going out, partying, clubbing, drinking, all that shit is dead. I disappear. I turn into a ghost. I put nothing but energy and straight up 100% of my focus into my business. Sure enough, it becomes successful. I am now the dream I was having. I am a businessman. I'm making great money. My life financially has completely transformed. I saw it in my dreams and I turned it into reality. Wow, good job. Pat on the back. Now what? Next summit. Where's the next mountain? Don't know what I want to do next. Okay. And then I kept going. Okay, well, let's just start day trading. Started day trading. Made that into a success. Well, now it's taking most of my time. All the free time I got, after my business, I'm now spent staring at 3 fucking screens and little charts, green and red bars. And I have to be like ear to the wall on every piece of news and always reacting and have no control of the market. Well, so I'm like, okay, this is not what I want to do. I did it successfully, but I lose my life in the screens. Okay, next, what else could you do? Well, how about YouTube? I have a very interesting friend group. All these guys are top 1%ers. They fight professionally in MMA, amongst other things. Ex-soldiers, all this other crazy shit. How about we start a podcast together or do something on YouTube and share stories and all the things that we shared with one another going on these hikes, especially doing psychedelics and stuff, all the wisdom you gain, the ability to open up to like the top percentile men that you would respect and that respect you. And I'm like, wow, this is what a brotherhood is like. I finally found one of these. Now what? Summit reached. Now what, dude? Now what? We're here. We got a fucking YouTube channel, all this shit, everything's successful, cool story. We're making it. Now what? So you're going to always ask yourself the now what? You almost have to be building for the future ahead while you're on the path to the goal you're already after. As you're ascending the mountain, you got to almost look past it and find out the next peak. It's so fucked. Nobody teaches us this because eventually you work at your goals long enough, you will reach them, right? Eventually you get to the little goal you set for yourself. For some people, these little goals are their passions, but for others, they're just things you're doing to keep you busy. Fine. We don't know how to differentiate between those, like which one's my actual passion and which one is the thing I'm doing because it keeps me busy, because I'm interested in the moment. That's another question that we got to ask. But some of these for me personally, like the YouTube thing was mega passionate and the business was mega passionate. Dude, I would wake up when I was dead broke. The business was just getting started. I was so fucking excited. I'm like, oh my God, my life's about to change. I could feel it. I'm going to be a successful business owner. I believe in this shit 100%. I was broke, dude. I started the business on credit card debt, $20,000 credit card limit, straight up maxed it out, buying everything. The worst thing they tell you when you start a business, never do it on debt, on credit cards. Have some cash in your pocket, do it that way. Nope, didn't listen. I just felt so positive. I knew for sure I had all the right ingredients that I could make this work, turn into a successful recipe. And during the process, I was so passionate about because I was envisioning a whole different lifestyle, a whole different person I was creating, not the broke college kid. I was a successful businessman. Then I moved on to, let's just say YouTube. Another thing that I was like, wow, I'm going to share with the world all the wisdom and experience I gained. I'm going to touch so many men, change so many lives. I was so fucking excited. Every day I was waking up. What is the next fucking thing I could talk? What other value can I derive? How can I share more? What are some questions you guys have? And now when you're deep in the thick of it, when you've already become that thing you're excited about, the human condition, dude, now what? I could get on and make episodes in my sleep now. There's no actual passion anymore behind for what I do. Now it just became the thing that just sustains me, and I'm looking for that next. How do I leverage this into the next thing? This is one of those traps. I don't know that I found my actual calling in life yet, my real passion. I know I've been passionate about certain things in certain phases of my life, everything I've described. But is there one defining thing that I have passion for that I'll do until my last breath? I don't think I'm confident enough to say I found that yet. But I'd like to think I'm on the way there. Maybe, hopefully. Yeah.
Are you going to have kids?
Definitely, yes.
It's going to change your life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So all my friends have said the same, yeah. So I'm expecting that to be a major, kick in the ass and get some fire in the gut again about what I do, what I want to do, how much better, where I want to ascend to. Obviously, when you have kids, that kind of drive pushed back into you, because how long can you go being, I don't want to call it selfish, but when you don't have somebody depending on you like that, we as men do lose some of that fire, because you could only cheer for yourself long enough till you need more. Yeah.
Yeah. I can actually attest to that too. It's just, I'm in a different part of life, kind of like you are, Bo, where I had the fire where I wanted to go and get out of the 9 to 5 grind. I wanted to start a business, acquired the business, left the 9 to 5, went into the business. Business is doing well. Okay. Well, now we need more vehicles. Now we need more equipment. You keep chasing and chasing and chasing, and I need a bigger shop. Now I got to that point. What's next? There's always that drive for what am I going to do next? Because you're like, okay, I made it there. You reach the summit. What's the next step? And that's something, like you said, that a lot of people just don't have the answer to. And that's why I'm hoping to have kids one day too, because when there's nobody depending on you, then what do you do? What's the next step?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that sentiment encapsulates how I've felt about purpose for quite a while. The sentiment that purpose feels like a luxury these days. It definitely does. And the way everything is set up, it feels like everything is set up specifically to make it as difficult or close to impossible for you to figure out any type of purpose. Even kids feels like a luxury rather than just something you can do when you're ready. Well, ready in quotations.
Exactly.
But kids feel like a luxury too, And like when I was in high school, it was very easy for me to get straight A's and perform really well. And then I moved out immediately. I moved out way too soon. And then a lot of things in life started catching up to me that went unresolved, and everything became too much. That on top of work and everything else, my grades started suffering, and I couldn't figure my shit out for a lot of different reasons. But even something as basic as education and schooling started falling by the wayside because I was so focused on I mean, a little bit lost as well, but trying to focus on figuring my shit out that didn't get fixed, that should have been fixed, but also trying to figure out shit in life to stay afloat and not drown. And how could you possibly focus, at least very much, on passions and purpose when a lot of your energy and time is spent just trying to not drown? And so how can you?
It's hard to find purpose when you're already struggling to make ends meet as it is. So you're already fighting one battle, and then you're trying to fight that battle as well on the same front. So you're trying to find your purpose all while just trying to survive. And it's very difficult.
Yeah. And I've noticed that is probably one of the main reasons why there's a lot of I mean, I know this is a kind of a hot button issue, but the mental health issues, especially here in the West, we'll just use the United States, for example. I have a feeling that even the mental health issues that we have are more strongly attributed to lack of purpose than people give it credit for.
Mm. Oh, 100%.
When I sat down and I thought about why I was so bitter about society and why I hated people and why I wanted nothing to do with trying to finally get myself integrated somehow into society and with people, when I thought really hard about it, one of the things that I acknowledged was that one of the reasons why I was so bitter and against trying to figure out society and become a part of it was because I was so goddamn miserable with myself and the fact that I didn't have a purpose or a strong sense of direction. And that bled into my perception of the world and of the people in it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it was all my fault. I couldn't hack things. I couldn't figure it out.
Yep. I came from that background as well, where I was very bitter and just angry at the world, and I just wanted to watch it burn. But at the same time, or it took some time actually to self-reflect and realize like the world doesn't suck as bad as you think it is. You kind of just sit there and you vet people that, oh, everybody just sucks. What should I bother? And realistically,
you're viewing it all through jade tinted lenses.
And the fun fact is, as you start to become a little more extroverted and start talking to people, it's really cool. Some of the connections you can meet. I met some of my best friends, and there's still some of my ride or dies today in some of the random places. One of my best friends I met at the scrapyard where I take all my scrap metal when I'm done for the month. And he's my ride or die 5 years later. And tell you what, that brother will have my back no matter what. It's when you start to take those lenses off and you can go view the world in a different perspective, it changes everything. But we're not shown that. We don't have mentors anymore. We have to figure this all out on our own. And I think that's why a lot of people suffer.
Yeah. And I mean, another thing that really opens people's eyes to that is travel. We can't really do that much anymore either, unless you have a shit ton of money, because everything is more expensive now with cost of living. And so you have less to try and put into savings and eventually go on trips. And then even abroad, or plane tickets and the basic stuff, all that's more expensive as well. Now it feels like the American dollar also doesn't go quite as far, and so even something as transformative as travel is also a little bit less accessible these days, it feels like.
You can also go on a car ride somewhere too. I mean, you'd be surprised how far going an hour to northwest, southeast, it kind of changes the whole culture. I mean, I come from small town, rural Midwest Wisconsin, but I can go 45 minutes to the east to Milwaukee, or I can go an hour to the west over to Madison, and there's different cultures everywhere. I mean, kind of amazing. Like, you don't have to go travel halfway across the country to go get a different experience. And there's always that.
No, but those trips definitely feel more transformative, though.
You'd be surprised.
Even if you go, 2 hours elsewhere, there's going to be a lot of differences still, but you're experiencing differences within the same umbrella culture, which is American culture. And if you want any massive differences where it's like it really gets you out of your shell and out of your comfort zone, it really gets you to see things from different perspectives, more times than not, that does require going further.
Yeah, in a sense. I mean, I've taken the trip down to Texas, and I'll tell you, Southern culture versus up in the Midwest is completely different.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It'll still be a worthwhile experience for sure.
No, that's why they always say, like, what Americans are never that culturally, I can't think of the culturally diverse, but we got many different cultures all over this country. I mean, heck, one of our states is bigger than the United Kingdom alone.
Yep.